Hey everybody, it is Greg Gossett from Gossett Trading and Mentoring Live, and today is Tuesday, December 31st, 2019. We are in the final hour of the trading day and also in the final hour of the trading year. How about that? So 2019 has been a pretty good trading year, I'd have to say. So hope everyone's doing well. As I mentioned, each live stream I make the majority of my buying and selling decisions in the last few minutes of the market. I believe it's the most valid price of the day. During the day, you have the algorithms, you have the day traders battling it out. I consider it a lot of noise. I'd rather make my buying and selling decisions based upon the prices that the large financial institutions and market makers move the prices to at the end of the day. They have the most information, they have the best technologies, they have the best traders, and they tend to make their move at the end of the day. And so I'd like to follow on their coattails and make the majority of my buying and selling decisions right there in the last few minutes of the day. So thank you all so much for coming. I really appreciate it. It's been great having you come along with me on the live stream during 2019. I started it, I think, in February, maybe January sometime, so not quite a year, but it's been great. It's been really great. Met some good friends along the way, and I hope that by watching this live stream in 2019 that it was helpful, that maybe it improved your trading results, your investing results. So Joshua Kaufman, how's it going, buddy? Joshua says, hi Greg and all, Happy New Year's. Happy New Year's to you too, Joshua. Thank you so much for coming. Hi Evan. Good afternoon to you, sir. Thank you for coming. Wade Foster. Hi, Wade. Hi, Greg. Hope you're having a great day. Thank you so much, sir. I appreciate that, and I hope you are doing the same. And JT, Happy New Year, Greg. Happy New Year to JT. Good to see you, my friend. Hey, John. How you doing? Happy New Year's to you. John says PRA. All right. Well, let's take a look. Let's take a look here. Not too bad. We did have a double bottom with a bullish divergence. Here we have a low with a little bit of MACD. We rally into the green. We come back down. I don't know. There is some red here. You know, it's okay. It doesn't strike me as something I would like immediately take. Because I don't really see a V1 or a V2, but it looks like it might close above the 10 EMA, and looks like MACD went positive again. So that's good, but it's not anything that jumps out at me that I would immediately buy. I would have liked to have seen if we could have tested this prior low here and then had some V1 or V2. So yeah, that's my honest opinion. What I think I would be looking for here, John, is now that we're back into the value zone, if we could get up another day or two, then have a couple days down and then a higher low V1. That's what I would be looking for. Frank, hey buddy, how you doing? Good to see you, Frank. Happy double-digit old year, Greg and all. Thank you. Yeah, it's crazy. It's 2020, right? It's a new decade. It's going to be interesting. You know, the 70s are different than the 80s, and the 80s are different than the 90s, and so forth and so on. And so I imagine the 20s are going to be different than the teens. So thank you for coming, Frank. Appreciate it. And always look forward to any of your poems. I've been posting those. Christopher Hitchin, hey, how you doing, sir? Nice to have you here. Hope you're having a good night in the UK. Hi, Lolly. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you're doing well. That's my friend Lolly. She lives here in the same town as me, so she's just recently taken an interest in trading, so I think that's great. And let me know if I can help you with anything, Lolly. Had your first overnight SPY trade, although it was a little bit of a loser, wasn't it? But we'll take a look at that. But that's how it goes sometimes. You never quite know. Hey, Dr. Jorgensen, good to see you. Beautiful day in the desert, sunshine and warmer weather finally. All right, that sounds good. That sounds good. Aman Solo, hey, what's going on, Aman Solo? Thank you so much for coming. I hope you're doing well. And all right. Well, listen, the plan for today, first of all, we're going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer. Second, we're going to come back. We're going to take a look at my current positions, when I bought them, why I bought them, and how I'm going to manage them moving forward. After that, we're going to do a few minutes on trader psychology. Making a plan, following a plan is, in my opinion, the most important skill that you can develop in trading. It's important to be able to analyze a chart, analyze support, resistance levels, entries, exits, all that. But once you can do that, then you can formulate a plan. But whether or not you can stick with your plan is a whole different ball game. And like I say it every day, but the most important skill that you can develop to improve your chances becoming a long-term profitable trader is to be able to follow your plan. So I do like to spend a few minutes on trader psychology, some good trading words of wisdom, and hopefully by mentioning this each day, hopefully you'll internalize them and you'll put them to use. After that, we're going to go through my watch list. We're going to take a look at all the stocks on my watch list. We're going to take a look at the support, resistance levels, MACD, moving averages, ATR channels, RSI, and I look at different indicators such as MACD and RSI, moving averages. I look at these as groups of buyers, different groups of buyers. And if you want a stock to go up, if you want to have a chance to make money in a stock to the upside, you need to be in the company of as many buyers as possible. And if you can look for a combination or a confluence of these indicators or these groups of buyers lining up, so instead of entering a position with one group of buyers, you enter positions with 2 or 3 or 4 groups of buyers. In my opinion, it really improves your chances. So that's what I look for. Step 1, I look for a confluence or a combination of indicators. Step 2, when you have that confluence or combination of indicators, it's not a sure thing that you go ahead and purchase that position. You have to make sure you have a good risk to reward based upon the support level below you and resistance levels above you. I like to have at least 2 to 1. So if I'm risking $100, I want to be able to make $200. That's step 2, looking for a good risk to reward. Step 3, make sure you do not have too many correlated positions. You don't want 4 energy positions, because either you're going to have a huge up day or you're going to have a huge down day. I prefer to look for, some diversified positions, maybe some healthcare, maybe some tobacco, maybe some tech, be diversified, not too much correlation, and then even go outside of equities and look for something like bonds or gold or silver or oil and become even more diversified. So that is what I look for. Step 1, confluence or combinations of signals. 2, good risk to reward ratio. And step 3, make sure your positions are not too highly correlated. Then after that, if I find anything that meets all 3 of those criteria, I'll go ahead, enter the position at the end of the day. And then after the market closes, if anybody has any questions for me, needs any clarification, please let me know. If you'd like me to take a look at any stocks, I'm happy to break down the chart for you, give you my opinion. If there are any symbols that you think are important or would be helpful for the group, please don't be shy. Put it in the live chat there. Maybe put a star by it so I know it's time sensitive, so I can make sure I can get to it before the market closes. So all right, well, that is the plan for today. So if you could be so kind and hold tight, I'm going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer, and I will be back in about 40 seconds. Thanks. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Please carefully read and/or listen to the U.S. government required disclaimer before watching this video or live stream broadcast. The video link and disclaimer text are located in the description section of this video or live broadcast, here and here. Thank you so much. All right. Hey, Clarence Beek is here. Hey, Jess. Good to see you, my friend. Jesse says, hello, Greg and gang. Hello to Jesse. Hope you're doing well, my friend. And if you're out there working tonight, be careful. All right. Lolly says there's always another day. That is true. Anthony, good to see you, my friend. Hey, buddy. Hello, my friend. One of my highlights of 2019 was meeting you and having you now in my life. Happy New Year's. Happy New Year's all. Aw, thanks, Anthony. I appreciate that, my friend. It was great working with you. And of course, if there's anything I can do, have any questions for me, always here for you. So thank you so much, Anthony, for the kind words. Frank says, a poem. Oh, we got a poem. Sweet. Chart, plot, plan. Write down your strategy. Picture it in a bottle as you toss it out to sea. For good trades, take all you know and then insist you let it go. Oh, that's good. I'm going to read it one more time because I didn't read it very well. Chart, plot, plan. Write down your strategy. Picture it in a bottle as you toss it out to sea. For good trades, take all you know and then insist you let it go. Wow, that's good stuff, Frank. That is good stuff. I'm gonna post that on Twitter later today because that's really good. That's really good. Oops. There we go. Put that in my little notes. That's good stuff, Frank. Hey, Marco. Hey, buddy. How you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for coming by. Hope you're having a good evening, and hope you have a good New Year's. It's New Year's over there, or it's evening over there in Europe right now. So, hope you have a nice night. All righty. So, well, let's get to it, shall we? So listen, being that it is the end of the year, I am going to exit all of my positions today at the end of the close, just so I'm completely flat for tax reasons, everything else, and I can start 100% fresh on the 2nd. So anyway, gold. Gold has been a really nice trade for us. I did buy it back here on the 13th of December. I bought it when the 5 EMA crossed over the 20 EMA. This is a good long-term back-tested approach to trading gold. It does not have a high winning percentage, but when you do have losses, they tend to be quite small. When you do have winner, they have the possibility of being a really big winner like this particular trade. So I did buy it, like I said, on the 13th of December when the 5 EMA crossed over the 20 EMA. That was my signal. My stop would have been a close below both the 5 and the 20. I have been scaling out as it's going up. You can see I did hit 2 profit targets today. My ultimate profit target was just here, so I only have maybe 5% of my position left. So this makes sense for me to go ahead and just take this off today and go flat on gold and call it a really, really great trade, and did hit 2 profit targets today. So I will be locking in the profits on this. I don't like this bar anyway. I don't like how we gapped up, but now the current close right now is lower than the open. So the current close is above yesterday's close, but the close is below the open, which is a bit of a negative bar. So anyway, really good time for me to lock in this profit, and I have so few shares left, but that was a great trade. Okay. S&P overnight SPY trade, our famous trade. So in case we have some new viewers today, I do want to go over this, but I do buy the SPY every day at the close of the market, and I sell it first thing the next morning. Why do I do this? Well, this is based upon a long-term study from Liz Ann Saunders from 1993, and in this study you have 2 options, or they tested 2 approaches. First approach was buying the SPY every day at the open, and then selling it every day at the close. So buy the open, sell the close, buy the open, sell the close. If you would have used this approach every single day from 1993, you'd have actually returned a negative 13.9%. However, if you took the second approach, which is what I do every day, buy the SPY at the close, sell it first thing the next morning. So buy the close, sell the next morning, buy the close, sell the next morning. If you'd have used this approach since 1993, you'd have actually returned a positive 634.2% return compared to buying at the open, selling at the close, a negative 13.9% return. So past performance is no guarantee of future results. Of course, we know that. That goes for any trading approach, but the key is if you can find an edge, have a positive expectancy in your approach, Like with this approach, over time you can see how your equity curve and profits can grow. It goes up and down. There are no, no straight ups. You're always going to have ups and downs, bumpy ride along the way. But if you understand that, it's easier to go through it. You can see here from 2000 to 2002, it almost went straight down. Then we had 3, 4, 5 years up and then down and up and down and up and down. But over the long term, you can see that at least to date, this has been a very profitable approach. So that is why I do buy the SPY every day at the open and sell it first thing at the close. So, all right. We have had a great run of it this year with this approach. We definitely have. I did buy it yesterday at 321.08, and unfortunately it did gap lower this morning, 320.50. So bought it at 321.08, sold it first thing this morning at 320.50 for a small loss, but that's how it goes. And I'll tell you, this approach can go a month with horrible results. In May of 2019, I think I lost 80% of my trades, 80%. But this month I've probably made 80% of the trades. But again, it's a long-term approach. Remember, trading is a long-term endeavor. Don't get too caught up on any one trade. You're going to have wins. You're going to have losses. It's just part of the game. Think about trading in the long term, and don't get too flustered one way or the other, whether you're making money or losing money. Just, look out in the future. Each trade is just one of the next 1,000 trades. So anyway, I actually am not going to be buying the SPY today. Because of what I told you earlier, because this is 2019. So I'm just going to go completely flat at the end of the day. Take no positions. Will be really strange. I think it'll be the first time I've been flat this year. Or maybe I was flat 1 or 2 days. I'm not 100% sure. So anyway, I will not be buying this at the end of the day. I'm going to wait till the beginning of the year. All right, well, VIX was really great yesterday, not so hot today. I did buy VIX back here on the 20th of December. We had a really nice confluence of indicators. We had an under 30, over 30. We had a V1 trigger. We went under the third ATR channel, over the third ATR channel, and we had a false break to the downside of this previous range. This is the red line here. We went sideways, 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 sideways. We snuck down, tested that area down there, didn't like it, boom, right back up with the V1 under the third ATR channel, over the third ATR channel, and under the 30, over the 30. So it has worked out really well. It moved up nicely and nicely and nicely. Today, though, it's given it all back. So I will be exiting this position. Even if I wasn't getting out of positions for the end of the year, I would be getting out of it now because of the close below the previous day's low. So I will be exiting this at the end of the day. And that's all we have. So gold, 2 profit targets, going to be exiting that. SPY, little overnight loss, and then VIX gave it all back today, gave a lot back. But it was still a profitable trade because I phased out, and that's one of the nice things about phasing out. I mean, it is still higher than probably where it's going to close. But, I did take percentages up here, which really helped, because if you do have a move down like this, that takes a lot of your profit away, at least you've locked in some at higher levels. And then, of course, it makes it, it mitigates the loss on the way down. You can see we almost hit that profit target today. Not quite, but that would have been good. I do want to show you real quick. I did not take this trade. I did not take this intraday trade, but I thought it was worth noting. We've come into the value zone. This is on a 5-minute chart. We've come into the value zone, make this little high, then we make this lower high. Whenever we make a lower high, we need to wash out that first low. Well, here it washed it out. Here was the trigger, the nice V1 trigger. Here's day 1, here's day 2, washes out day 1, closes above. I did not buy it here, but this is just an example. And look what a great trade this would have been, huh? Wish I would have taken that one, but I didn't. But anyway, just a good example. Okay. Hey, Steve Burns. Good to see you, my friend. Thanks for coming. Always appreciate it. Steve says, ironically, I will be buying the S&P at the end of the day for the first time using UPro. Oh, wow. Big news. So, Steve, are you going to be using the overnight SPY trade or the overnight UPro trade for 2020 going forward? Ah, well, good. We're in good company then with Steve. So Steve's using the UPro. That's the double leveraged. And then I'm just using the single leverage SPY. But interesting. That is ironic, isn't it? That is ironic. Well, good to know. Good to know. We're in good company. And thanks for coming, Steve. And thank you so much for, coming into the chat room almost every day in 2019. It's great to have you here. Always exciting for me, and I know it's always exciting for everyone else. So thank you so much. And I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear Steve's going to be using the overnight SPY trade. Very good. Very, very good. Aha. Steve says, yes, the overnight UPro trade going forward. Excellent. 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 All right. Let's see. All right. I'm going to clean up a little something here. Oops. Okay. All righty. All right. Sounds good. Sounds good. Steve says using a 10% position size. Excellent. Really great. Really, really great. All righty. Well, so listen, this is the time of the day where I do like to talk about some trader psychology or some good trading words of wisdom. There's some really good Twitter channels out there that put a lot of time and effort into posting good sayings, good words, trading words of wisdom for us that are really helpful. And I appreciate all of them doing that. And this is from Adam Mancini at Adam Mancini 4 on Twitter. I subscribe to Adam. He has some really good posts, and so I suggest that you check him out at Adam Mancini 4 on Twitter. But Adam writes, every year at this time, I review my results and find that the less trades I placed, the better I did. And my trades per year steadily decline. Less is more. There's only a finite amount of good setups, and knowing this, more trading doesn't always translate into more profits. Isn't that good? And it's so true. I think the key here for me that stuck out was there's only a finite amount of good setups. And knowing this, more trading doesn't always translate into more profits. So, if there's only a finite amount of good setups, then why don't we concentrate on just the good setups, right? And not waste our time and energy and burn calories on subpar setups, right? Less work, more money if you concentrate on better setups. And I can tell you going forward in 2020, I've been thinking about, okay, what adjustments do I want to make to my trading? And my adjustment for 2020 going forward is exactly what Adam says. I want to take fewer trades. I want to be even more particular in the setups that I take and trade less. So going forward, you might even see me be a little bit more particular with the trades that I take based upon what Adam says. But every year at this time, I review my results and find that the less trades I placed, the better I did. And my trades per year steadily decline. Less is more. There's only a finite amount of good setups, and knowing this, more trading doesn't always translate into more profits. So thank you so much, Adam Mancini, and thank you for posting this. And I hope you have a good year in 2020 with your fewer trades and more profits. So anyway, I hope that was helpful for everyone. Hey, Andrea, good to see you. Andrea says, that sounds like an interesting way to play the overnight SPY. Steve says, looking for more alpha. Yeah, Andrea, Steve did a study on UPro. He's not just doing it off the top of his head. He did a study on how UPRO back traded, and I actually compared the study from the S&P trade compared to the UPRO trade, and actually the numbers that I came up with, if you do apples to apples, because UPRO is 2 times leverage, if you do apples to apples, the UPRO actually outperformed the overnight SPY trade as well. So Evan says ZM might be interesting to look at. All right, let's take a look-see. Zoom video. Well, this is very similar to that 5-minute chart that I showed you on Apple. Here we make a lower high. If you make a lower high, you need to wash out the previous low. Oh, I don't know if this did wash out the previous low. Oh yeah, it did. It did easily. And then here, yesterday, you had a V1. You had a V1 and it's moved up nicely today. It's for me, honestly, Evan, it's a little high in the zone for me, in the value zone. You know, from here to here, 3/4 is about the maximum I'll take unless it is a moving average crossover. So if I were to take this trade, I would definitely at least see if it closes above the 50-day moving average, because if it rejects that 50, that's not a good sign, because it rejected it over here, and it might reject it here today as well, and MACD is positive. So yeah, it is actually, it was a V1 yesterday. MACD is positive. I like that. I like that we're closing over the 50, whereas before we kind of had a hard time here and here. Let's look at the weekly. Thing that concerns me a little on the weekly is you have this big down week, and when you have a big move like this, larger than 1 ATR, you're usually going to find some kind of resistance at the halfway. See how we came right up to the halfway, and that's exactly where we're getting stuck. So that concerns me a little bit on that. But let me know what you do with that. Let's take a look at current positions from you guys. A man solo did buy CMCSA back here on this higher low V1 back on the 19th. This has done really, really well for him. You know, it's extended nicely from your entry. If I was in this trade, I would probably stay in. If it closed above yesterday's low, get out if it closed below yesterday's low. Now, I don't know, and I'm hoping Man Solo will let me know. Man Solo did take this V2 here back on the 23rd, which was a really nice trade. Moved up, moved up, moved up. I looked at this yesterday. I would have gotten out of this yesterday with the rejection of the 50-day moving average. Still would have been a really nice trade for him percentage-wise. This doesn't look like a lot, but it's a lot. That's 4.41%. Now, I don't know if a man solo got out of this or not. I'm hoping and praying now that he didn't, because this is up 8% today. But a man solo, do you still have love? Fingers crossed. All right, Mount Doji took this bullish engulfing V1 back on the 24th. It's just kind of been going sideways, sideways, sideways. He is up on it a little bit right now, but I'm not sure if he's still in that. Evan took this nice V1 yesterday. V1 with the rejection of the previous range. Here's day one, day two washes out day one. Looks like closing above day one's close. He took it here 38.07. Now it's at 38.43. So this is pretty nice here for Evan. So nice trade on that, Evan. All right, Bing He, our friend from Singapore, did take this V2 yesterday on DRI at 108.72. Went up a little higher today, well off of its low, thankfully. Anyway, slightly underwater on that trade. So that, I believe, is all of the positions of mine and all the positions of everyone else. So let's see. Frank says Dow Jones has advanced 9 times in 11 years into the new year since 2009, according to Stock Traders Almanac. Steve says, I love Stock Traders Almanac, amazing studies. Andrea says, how far did you go with the U Pro back test? I think Steve sent me the numbers on it, and I think U Pro started in 2009. Here you go, Andrea. So it started in 2009. So not back to 1993 like the S&P. So not as much data, but I did I did it from all the numbers that Steve sent to me. Look at this. Whew. Frank says, love the OERI. Overnight SPY trade correction. Oh, okay. All right. So do any of you out there have any New Year's trading resolutions? Something that you want to work on, something that you're going to kind of make a commitment to? Like me, I'm going to trade a little less. I'm going to be more selective on my trades. How about you guys and girls? Any thoughts? Any ideas? Steve says, full history of U-Pro. I also did SPY back to 1993 and SSO to 2006. Oh, it's 2006 then, okay. All looked great over the long run. Yep, exactly. All right, well, let's go through and take a look and see if anything looks interesting today. So Apple, very, very strong. Let's see, is the market? Yeah, okay, so the market went positive. So that was the little 5-minute trade that I took there. So nothing here. I need to pull back into the value zone. That's what I'm waiting for on Apple. Back down in here. This is really strong. Obviously, I wish I would have bought it all the way along here, but this is unusual to have this strong of a move. A lot of times, 90% of the times, you're going to find real resistance here at the third ATR channel. So I've got to just sit on my hands, be patient, wait for a pullback into value. Adobe, same as Apple, too high, is underneath the third ATR channel now. But I need to pull back into the value zone right in here. This will be my area to buy. This will be the first area I'll be interested in buying. Adobe is back here in the value zone. And Amazon, nothing here today. I did buy Amazon back here when we closed above the 250. If it would have immediately gone and closed below the 250, I would have immediately gotten out. But this is a good approach to trading Amazon. Close above the 250 being in Amazon, close under the 250 being out of Amazon. And the reason why this approach works well is because it gives you a good risk to reward. If I'm wrong, I could be wrong very small. If I'm right, I can have a really nice move like we did here. So I bought it, moved sideways, had a huge day up, had another huge day up, just phase, and then I got out here because I didn't like the price action here, and looks like that was a good time to get out. So, where would I buy this again? There might be some support at the 200-day. Very well likely might be some support there, but I'm not going to buy it here at the second ATR channel. Only crossovers will I buy that high. So I'm going to have to wait for some kind of pullback into the value zone before I get interested. Oh, yes, the man Solo is still in love. Sounds weird, right? Fantastic. I'm so glad to hear that, man Solo. Look at this. It's up 9% today. Holy smokes. So he's up 12.44% on this trade. That is excellent. So, watch up here at this third ATR channel and this 100-day moving average up here, man Solo. That does look like a lot of resistance. So fantastic. So glad to hear that. Boeing. Well, Boeing's just not doing very well, is it? I'd be looking for some kind of test of this previous bottom with a nice V1 or a V2, or some nice V1, V2 at the negative third ATR channel, or under 30, over 30. And ideally, if they happened all at once, that would be the best, right? So nothing yet on Boeing. Berkshire Hathaway got above the third ATR channel. It's kind of moved sideways, move sideways, move sideways, getting close to the into the value zone, getting close to the mean. And Berkshire Hathaway is a good one to buy at the mean, but not when it's extended. So I would be looking for some kind of consolidation V1, V2 right here in the value zone. So Beyond Meat is up today. We closed under the 1 ATR channel, came back in. Now we've made a lower high. Now we have washed out that previous low. A little bit of a V1 today, although I don't think this is a good enough V1. I like when day 2 washes out day 1 by at least a quarter of an ATR, so it have to be about this much. This is not that much, so nothing on Beyond Meat for me here. Caterpillar moved up, sideways movement, just waiting for it to come back into the value zone. That's what I'm looking for. All right. Dow Jones, well, moved up, high RSI, lost the 70 RSI. Don't want to buy up here. Anything above the 1 ATR channel I considered overvalued or overstretched. I want to wait for it to come back to the mean. Want to wait to buy in the value zone. That's what I'm waiting for, somewhere in here. Walt Disney. So, I've been talking about Walt Disney for over a month. We had this huge move up here, and about halfway of this bar, right about here, I guess, is where I'm looking forward into the future as some kind of a good place. Because when you have a nice move up like this, very likely you're going to have a 50% retracement, and it should hold there. So if you go out in time here, this is about the area that I'm looking to buy. What I'd really like to see here is a close under, a rejection, or a close under and back over the 50-day moving average and the third ATR channel. So nothing quite yet. Does have a V1 today, but it did not wash out very much, and day's 1 bar is larger than 1 ATR. Etsy. So Etsy had a nice move up. We closed above the 1 ATR channel, which is really good and positive, but I would be waiting for a pullback into value, and it looks like it's moving that way. So step 1, above the 1 ATR channel. Step 2, come back into the value zone. Step 3, sideways movement to show that it stopped going down and it have some support. Then 1 false breakout to the downside and reversal, or in other words, a V1 or a V2. Spike down, reverse back up. So I'll be watching Etsy next year. Facebook up a little bit, did poke its head in. It is in the value zone, but I needed to come lower, and then sideways movement, and then a V1 or a V2. Gold, of course, I'm going to get out of that today. That was a wonderful trade. Glad that I hit the profit target right there near the top, but I am going to be closing this out today. Google. So this was a false breakout to the upside. See, we went up. Here was a previous range, went up and then down. And so we are in the value zone, but we're continuing to go down, down, down. I just need to have some sidewards movement and then look for a V1 or a V2. Goldman Sachs, same, just need to pull back into the value zone, look for a V1 or a V2. Home Depot, above the 1 ATR channel, into the value zone, is holding one day. If we could get a hold for another day and then a V1 or a V2, that's what I'd be looking at. Or look at some kind of bounce or close under back over the 200. That would also be interesting. But this is a good time to mention that let the trades come to you. Like, I know that we feel like we're traders, we got to be trading, but sit on your hands, wait for the trades to come to you. Don't force it. Just like a pitcher, right? Wait for the pitch to come to you. And it's one of the best pieces of advice. Identify where you're going to have a confluence of signals, like Disney, right? I've been waiting for that for a month. Identify, look at a stock, say, okay, it's here, but if it gets here, then I'll take action if I have the right setup. So that's what I'm talking about when I say just let the trade come to you. So the trade coming to me here on Home Depot would be sideways movement, V1, V2, or some kind of rejection of the 200-day. But there's just nothing to do here today, so nothing. I won't do anything. Okay, IBB into the value zone, down, down. Now it has 1 day of sideways movement. Now I'm looking for another day of sideways movement, then a V1 or a V2. So this is looking really good, but it's in the value zone, but it's going down. It's in the value zone, but it's going down. Now we finally stabilized for 1 day. Now I need another day of stable and then a V1 or a V2. Intel rejected the third ATR channel, need to pull back into the value zone. Russell, very high like everything else. Again, I need some kind of pullback into the value zone. The value zone is in between this green line and this green line. This is 1 ATR, this is -1 ATR, somewhere in here. Johnson & Johnson, pull back into value. CarMax finally caught a little bit of a bid, but in order for this, I would need it to a minimum go over 30 RSI. I'd like it to come down here to this. See the confluence of the 6 ATR channel and the 200-day moving average? This is really where I'd like to get it. Some kind of bounce off that 200 or close under and back over. That would be the sweet spot for CarMax. Coca-Cola, too high. Need to pull back into value. Lockheed Martin was above the 1 ATR channel. Now it is in the value zone, but just because it's in the value zone, we don't buy, right? I need to see it stop going down, move sideways, show that there's some support, and then look for a V1 or a V2. MasterCard, nothing. Needed to come deeper in the value zone, V1, V2. McDonald's, nothing on McDonald's. Merck, it's moving itself down. Need to pull back into value. Microsoft, down a little bit today. Down into value is what I'm looking for. Netflix was above the 200, lost the 200, pull back into value. I know I sound like a broken record, guys. Sorry. Nike, pull back into value. Philip Morris, well, it's been well above the 1 ATR channel. Now we are coming back into value. So, we might have another dip buy. Nothing yet, but, this was an excellent trade on Philip Morris. Same situation. See how we're above the 1 ATR channel? Now we're coming into the value zone. Well, here we were above the 1 ATR channel, coming into the value zone, then some sideways movement, and then look at this beautiful V1 we had here. And this was a fantastic trade all the way up. And got out here. PayPal, back into the value zone, sideways movement. Qs, nothing on the Qs, pull back into value. Silver, down a little bit today, nothing there. I would need the 5 EMA to cross under the 20 EMA and then back over, or a pullback into value. We did take this last trade here with the 520 EMA crossover, as same with gold. And look at this, what a nice monster run. Actually ran out of shares right there. S&P had the overnight, S&P had the overnight SPY trade, had a little bit of a loss at the open. I'm going to pass on this today and wait till January 1st. Bonds rallied, bounced off this previous low, and now have gone down. So maybe at the 30 RSI. Tesla had this huge run. We'll need to pull back into value. Twitter, huge run, pull back into value. United Healthcare, I need to pull back into value. Oil, pull back into value. VIX, gonna get out of that today with this reversal. Verizon, we are back in the value zone, so a little sideways movement here. Look for a V1, V2 would be good. Walmart, look at Walmart. We came into the value zone, we moved sideways. I was looking for a spike down and reversal, but all we got was a spike down. So nothing on Walmart. Although if we went up on the next trading day, we could have one really sweet V2. above the 1 ATR channel, in the value zone, sideways movement, spike down. We've certainly washed out yesterday's low, haven't we? So if we could reverse back up on the next trading day with the V2, that would be a good signal. Energy, nothing on energy. Financials, nothing there. Real estate having a good day. Looks like it's closing above the 1 ATR channel. Also looks like it's closing above the 50. Too high for me to buy here, but that's a good sign for real estate. Utilities need to pull back into value, and healthcare. So, I mean, look at the huge run we had on healthcare, but now it's back in the value zone. So another day sideways, something like that, then I can look for a V1 or a V2. So I don't see anything here, guys, at all. So let's see if anyone else has something to look at. All right, Frank says, let's look at wood, W-O-O-D. Well, I don't see anything here, Frank. I mean, it's strong, but I would need to pull back into value. I mean, the way I trade, right? Maybe you have a different approach, but I just need some kind of pullback here into value before I could get interested on this. Mansolo says, seems like some institutional investors had opened a new position in love last quarter, and this increase was when the news came out. I am not sure how to play it from here, though. Thoughts, Greg? Well, yeah, on love, if it rejected the third ATR channel and the 100-day moving average in the coming days, I would sell it then. If we had a close below the previous day's low, I would sell it then. So that's how I would approach it. If it closes above the third ATR channel and the 100-day moving average and, you know, closes above the 70, I would hold it until it closes underneath the 70. Or if it rejects the 70, closes under, I would get out as well. But fantastic trade, my friend. Really great. Anthony says, for the last quarter, you wanted to become more diligent and disciplined. We made it a goal. I feel like you did well with that. Me too. Next year, I will try and not make as many mistakes. Yeah, last quarter I did. I wanted to be a little bit more diligent, and I was. I think I've been very diligent this year, and there's not a lot of mistakes I feel like I've made, but just like the Twitter post that I read, I'm just going to become even more diligent and even more picky in my positions, Anthony. But that's great to hear. You know, we can always try to make fewer and fewer mistakes going forward, right? Anthony says, buy sell orders. Buy sell orders. Buy wrong stock. Wait too late to put orders in. Stuff like that. Oh, I see. Frank says, it would be nice if Boeing could get off the ground. Haha, very good. Yep. I like Boeing. I'm just having to wait for a signal is all. Oh, that's interesting, Evan. Yeah, I mean, look. Well, let's take a look here. It never did quite make it above the 1 ATR channel, did it? But it is a higher low from here. I do kind of like it, actually. I mean, that is one heck of sideways movement, spike down, and reversal. It's actually a V1, and you can call it a V2 as well. I like it. If I took this trade, I would use halfway of the washout bar here as my stop. But that's a really good example of a squeeze play. Sideways movement, false breakout, and reversal. Kind of like what we're looking for on Walmart. Same kind of a thing. Yeah, I like that. Let me know if you end up taking that. Dr. Jorgen, hey Bing He, good to see you, buddy. Bing He's our friend from Singapore. Dr. Jorgen says, I'm only going to make positive trades, New Year's resolution. Sounds good to me. Bing He says, Greg, DRI is rejecting 5 EMA and a horizontal resistance around 23rd of October. I think I can still hold on. What's your view? Yeah, I looked at that earlier. You know, my view is I think it's fine, because if I would have taken this trade, I would use a halfway of the washout bar, and it did touch that today at the low and bounced right off of it. So that's what I would use as my stop, would be a close below somewhere around 107.90. And it is back up into the old range, and looks like are you positive on the trade? Yeah, looks like you are positive on the trade because you bought it at 108.72. Hey Dave, good to see you, my friend. Are you still in Columbia? Dave says, Happy New Year's, Greg, and all. Thanks for your guidance this year. You're certainly welcome, my friend. Bing He says, can help take a look at AVNS. How are we doing on time? All right, we got AVNS. AVNS. I don't have that one, Bing He. AVNS. I'm putting it in and I don't get it. Kurt says, "Hey Greg, I'm gonna trade more in 2020, more like you and Steve. I can't thank you enough for everything you've taught me. I'm a complete trader now." Oh man, glad to hear that, Kurt. Thank you, buddy. Joshua says, "GE, nice reversal today." Yeah, let's take a look here. So we were under the 1 ATR channel. We came up. We did not. We made this lower high here. I think you're going to have issues with this lower high, and we didn't wash out this lower low, to be honest with you, Joshua. Man Solo says, "Love. Thanks, Greg. Also thinking about putting a stop halfway of today's bar too." Nothing wrong with that, because we shouldn't lose halfway of this washout, or we shouldn't lose halfway of this bar. Anthony says, "Please take a look at CVS." Well, we have a V1. Higher low V1. Day one's bar is not larger than 1 ATR. It's not bad. I mean, it does give a good risk to reward ratio. If you use halfway, it gives you a very small stop if you're wrong, and if you're right, you could test these previous highs or go up to the 70 RSI. So yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with that at all. Man Solo says, "DD, if V1 first day's bar is too large, right?" Yes, you are right. This is one of those weird ones where if it was a V1, it would be too large. If you consider it a V2 with this little bar and then this move down and here. Now look, it can't be a V1 and a V2. It just has to be one or the other. But if you look at it in context, I could consider it. It is a V1. But it's one of those ones where you have a V1 and a V2. The only thing that concerns me is we're right up here at the 48 RSI, so that's a little close. But this sideways movement and this spike down, a reversal back up on volume, and MACD is positive. Nothing wrong with that. Man Solo says, UPS. All right, I got to make sure I don't have any existing orders here. Nope. So let me, I'm going to have to do that manual. Okay. All right. So UPS here. So, okay, we came in, came down, made a lower high. Didn't wash out, made a lower high here. Did wash out. It's a higher low V1 to here, but it's a lower low V1 compared to here. And yesterday's bar was big on the downside, so I don't particularly like that one so much. I like this one better because yesterday's bar was not so big like UPS. Although if I wanted to take this, I would definitely wait until if we close back into the value zone, because this -1 ATR channel is resistance above. But you did have 2 days down. Not too bad. Not too bad. Really good risk to reward ratio. I mean, right there, halfway of the washout bar. Any little move down, you're out. And if it moves up, maybe goes up to 200, you have a good risk to reward ratio there. Frank says, haven't visited Waste Management for a while. Oh, yeah. Well, it's just too high here. I remember we bought Waste Management right here. I can't remember who told me about that trade. We had a nice trade here, got out some here, got out some here, so that was a positive trade. But now we're above the 1 ATR channel, so I need to pull back into value zone. Man, look at this love trade, guys. What a trade. And then Mount Doji's looks like it's hanging above break even. Evans made some money on that one today. Bing He, this one's, well, I think you're up on the trade. So when it has recovered, I like that. Oops, what am I doing? All right, so I've got 4 minutes. I'm going to have to get out of my position. So not buying the SPY, and I'm getting out of gold and getting out of VIX. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and just get out of gold right now. So gold is locked in. We have about 2 minutes, but that was a sweet trade on gold, huh? That was a sweet trade on gold. It's still holding the 70 RSI though. And then VIX. So my last trade for 2019. For funsies, let's see what this is doing on the 1 minute chart here. Well, I'm glad it's rallied. I'm glad it's rallied going into the close before I get out of it. Okay. Well, that's not the right direction at all, right? Oh, jeez. Guess I should have sold that one first, huh? Other than gold. Oh, jeez. Oh, my gosh. Oh, brother. All right, 15 seconds to go. I better sell it. What? Okay. All right. Well, that is it. That is it for the year. How about that, huh? All done. All done. All done and all flat. Let's take a look here. Okie doke. Andrew says, MO is looking ugly lately. Oh, I haven't looked at MO lately. Oops. Boy, rallied strong in that last minute, didn't it? Yeah, it's looking ugly, but I'm not too surprised. I mean, we were above the 1 ATR channel. Now we're coming back into value, kind of how we're supposed to. So day down, this day held. If I had another day holding, and then we had a V1 or V2, I would buy this dip. So, you know, this was a strong move, and now I'd be looking to buy the dip. Evan says, wow, rough end of the day on VIX. I know, I should have sold gold first, but I was just waiting till the end. But anyway, it turned out it was still a positive trade. I mean, it did take back a lot of it, obviously, but you know, I was glad that we hit some up here. Glad that we took some profits when we did up here. But so that's VIX. VIX is done, and this is the first time since February 26th that I have not had the SPY trade. Huh, something feels off. Right? But that's okay. We'll get to it next year. And gold is gone, so I am position free at the moment. And gold was a nice trade. All right. So, did anybody take any positions today? Joshua says, I agree about GE and some trouble, but it sure did rally in the last hour. Thanks, Greg. Yeah. Yeah, it did, didn't it? It did. Bing He says, look like right decision for me. DRI positive, and I did not take AVNS as it went below 50 RSI. Grateful for that to make the right decision. I am glad that you made the right decision as well, Bing He. So yes, DRI did go positive on the day. Nice. But isn't it interesting? Right, here's the washout bar, Bing He, 50% out of the washout bar. See how we went down today, and that's right where we got, and it did catch support right here, 50% of this bar, and it bounced right off of that. So that's why if we close below halfway, that's not a positive sign. It can come back down to there, likely bounce, and that's exactly what it did. So glad to see you're in the money on that. Evan says, I went ahead and got into ZM despite how high it is in the channel. I like everything about it. I also got into DD. All right. Let's take a look here. Okay, so Zoom. Do you remember where you got in, Evan, on Zoom? So we'll put Evan down for ZM and also for DD. I'm not sure where you got in, so if you could tell me, let me know. Evan in. $68.06. All right, you're on the board, Evan. We'll be watching this. Make sure you behave yourself. How about DD? 6422. Okay. Good enough. We've got it down in the book. So good luck on both of those, Evan. I hope they go well for you. Okay. Well, listen, if there's any more questions or comments, please let me know. Just quickly, I do want to put in my last daily plug for the year and let everybody know that I do offer private one-on-one coaching and teaching and mentoring lessons in the evening time via Skype. I love to teach. I've had really good success with my clients. I do offer a course. It's 5 sessions. Each session is somewhere between 2 and 3 hours. It's live, you and I, one-on-one on Skype. I teach you everything I've learned over the last 24 years as a full-time trader. Also teach you everything I've learned from all of my mentors and coaches along the way, and in addition to the things I have discovered and come up with over the years. So I think it's a really valuable course. I think once you're done with the course, you'll be able to look at the market and trade in whatever kind of markets we have, whether they're momentum markets or dip buys or V1s, V2s. We talk a lot about psychology. We talk a lot about position sizing, correlation, all that kind of stuff. And it's not a course where you just sit there and go, I really do turn the tables. And after I teach you the lesson, I have you teach it back to me. We do a lot of chart study. We go through a lot of charts. And, I have you break down the charts. What's good? What's bad? What are the pros? What are the negatives? What's the risk to reward ratio? What's our next trade? And so we do a lot of simulation in the courses. And I think when you're done, you're going to be a much better trader. So it is $1,000, but I think it's well worth the money because, like I said, it's one-on-one. It's very intensive. And it's not just something that you listen to me talk and that's it. It's very interactive back and forth. So anyway, if you're interested, the email to get a hold of me is in the description of this video. You can also send me a message on Twitter. But before we have the lessons or before we decide that, we want to work together, I like to have a free Skype call. I just like to know more about you, your trading, what your challenges have been, what your goals are. You can ask me any questions that you like. And then, if we decide that we're a fit, we want to work together, then, I'll keep everything in mind that you told me as far as putting together the lesson plan for you. So anyway, if you're interested, send me a message and you want to have that free Skype call, send me a message on Twitter, or you can send me a message to my email, which is in the description. And then if you like today's podcast live stream, please do me a favor and hit the thumbs up button. That would be great. It helps YouTube know that, it's a channel that has some value and it will help promote it more. And there's a lot of people out there that need help with their trading. So you can help me help them find the channel by hitting the thumbs up button. If you thought today's live stream was valuable, that is. All right. So, all right. Well, does anybody have any other questions? Pat says, thanks so much, Greg. I'm enjoying our daily sessions. Happy New Year to you and all. Thank you, Pat. Appreciate that. Evan says, what do you think of KKR? I was eyeing it, but wasn't obvious if it was going to close above 50 RSI and 20 DMA, so I let it alone. KKR. All right, so we did make a lower high and we did wash out the low. Yeah, this could go either way. I mean, we did reject the 10 and the 20 and close to rejecting the 5. I think I would have let it alone as well. Let's look at the weekly. Weekly's okay. It's in the value zone. Let's look at the monthly. So monthly is an uptrend. Weekly is in the value zone, but not deep in the value zone. I think it's a good call to have left it alone, to be honest with you. Hey, Dave from Vic's Crush. How you doing, my friend? Thank you so much for coming. Hey, listen, guys. This is Dave from Vic's Crush, and that's his YouTube channel, Vic's Crush. And if you would like to know more about the VIX, Dave is an expert, and I watch his live streams, and I've learned so much more about the VIX, and I really appreciate Dave for doing that. So it's Vic's Crush on YouTube. Let me see if I can pull that up real quick. Here we go. VIX Crush right here. Here's Dave. And he has some, I mean, he's an expert. He was a floor trader, and he is a real expert on VIX. And I've learned a lot about the VIX, things that I did not know before. A lot about the contango and the decay and the so forth and the so on. So thanks for coming, Dave. Appreciate that. And Happy New Year's to you as well. And Happy New Year's to everybody. I mean, really, I hope everybody has a happy, healthy, and prosperous 2020. I really do. And, you know, let's tighten up our standards on our trades. Let's be more selective. Let's trade less, take better positions, trade less, and make more money. How does that sound? Evan says, every live stream you do is valuable for sure. Well, thank you, Evan. I appreciate that, bud. So does anybody have any big plans for tonight? I actually have none other than walking my dog and maybe watching Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Bing He says DDRSI at 48.27, hitting 50 RSI soon and nearly crossing 200 EMA and near resistance. Do we need to be concerned about this? Well, I'll tell you, if it had rejected the 50 RSI already today, I would definitely want to stay away from it. But being that it did not reject the 50, so we don't know if it's rejected the 50 yet. So, I mean, I like this sideways movement. I like this stab down, and I like this strong reversal. If I were in this trade, I'm not in this trade, but if I were in this trade and the next trading day it rejected the 50, I would get out. Honestly, I would get out. But if it closed above the 50 and stayed, then I would stay in as long as it closes above the 50. Dave from VIX Crush says, I'll send you your check for that plug soon. No need, bud. You have a great channel. And I mean, I'm plugging it because I think it's really great, Dave. I really do. I've learned a lot about the VIX from watching. You know, Dave, I'd like to get your feedback. You know, I know, you know, the trader 50 Cent. He's the guy that buys VIX when it gets low. I think he bought. I could be wrong here, but I think he bought 120,000 calls January 22nd calls on the VIX at 22, and he paid 50 cents per piece. So I think it's like a $6.5 million trade. Pretty short too, right? January 22nd is the expiration with the $22 strike price. Do you have any thoughts on that? Evan says, I personally don't like to do anything for New Year's. I use it for self-reflection more than celebration. Ah, that's good, Evan. I think it's a good way to go. I mean, it's a good time of the year, right? To do this self-reflection. Andrea says, I'll be asleep before midnight. Yeah, I've been wanting to watch that movie. I'm excited to watch it. I like Tarantino shows, for sure. So, all right. Well, Andrea's going to get a good night's sleep tonight. Unlike a lot of people, right? I remember when I was young, I go to parties and there's all sorts of craziness. Yeah, not anymore. Not anymore. Pretty boring for sure. All right, so you can see the VIX index did reject the 200 yesterday. We got above it and then rejected it again. Did the 10 cross over? Well, I do want to point out, though, that the 10 EMA did cross over the 30 EMA. And, you know, that's back-tested. You know, you don't want to short the VIX based upon Larry Connor's backtest. You don't want to short the VIX when the 10 is above the 30. And it actually, it's even, isn't it? 1342, 1342. So could go either way. We could go into a higher volatility market, or we could go into a lower volatility market. But as far as ETF replay goes, this is still moving. Oh yeah, 15 minutes after, because this is 15 minutes delayed. Now we'll have to see. All right. So Mansola is doing well with the CMCSA. That has been an excellent trade, my friend. Did it close under previous day's low? Let's see. Yesterday's low was why can't I find it? 44.94, and it closed at 44.95. So it did close above previous day's low. Love. Mansola had a monster trade, up 8.89% today. Wow, that's fantastic. Mount Doji, slightly above break even on his builder position. Evan up on his MDC. Bing He up on his DRI. And then Evan took ZM today, and he also took DD. Did anybody else take those? Roy B says, hey Roy, good to see you. Roy B says, I'm in California and celebrate New York time. I'm in CA and celebrate New York time, 9 o'clock. Oh, right, because that's 12 o'clock in New York. All right. All righty. Evan says, I need one of those love trades. I'm telling you, we all need one of those. Isn't that something? What a trade. What a trade. What a trade. Higher low V2. I love those higher low V2s. And you know, the reason why, guys, is because when you buy a lower low, the people that buy down here, they're not long-termers. They're buying, waiting for a bounce. They'll stay in it as long as it keeps moving up. But once it starts getting a little weak and a little squirrely, the people that bought down here will sell here, right? They're looking for a bounce. This is not a long-term trade for them. They're just buying the dip, waiting for it to get weak. So here, they bought here. Fine, down, they get out, lock in profits. But then if you can get a new group of buyers to come in, aka a V1 or a V2, then it has easier movement to the upside because these people already sold. So you're not having to worry about the supply from these people coming in. It already came in here, and that's what makes this long. So when you see a deep dip, you'll see a 2 or 3 or 4 day rally and then usually a down day. But then if you get enough buyers where you can make a higher low and start moving up, that might turn into 7 or 8 or 9 days to the upside, right? This is usually a short bounce from a lower low, and then a higher low, you usually have a longer move up. Clarence speaks. Thank you for everything. That's Jesse. Thank you for everything, Greg, and all your work you put into doing this for us every day. Your course was excellent, and I am blessed to have discovered you before major losses. Cheers, my friend. Oh, thanks, Jess. I appreciate that, bud. Means a lot. Means a lot. Thank you so much. And Jesse was an excellent student, man. Just excellent student. All my students have been excellent. Been fantastic. Kurt and Addie and Anthony and Jackson, all of you. Frank says, this decade really starts in 2021. There is no year zero. Sorry about that. I know I had this discussion with somebody yesterday, but it seems like it is, right? It is called 2020, but you're 100% right, Frank. All right. Okay. Bing He says, Greg, you want to look at BP. I didn't take this trade because of the 5 EMA resistance. All right, let's take a look. BP. Is that British Petroleum? Yeah. Yeah, I would not have taken this trade either. I mean, we are above the 1 ATR channel. We did come back into the value zone, but we see how we're down and we reversed. There's no sideways movement here at all, Bing He. When you go up and you go down and you immediately bounce, those usually become lower highs. The ones that can continue up are the ones that go up, down, sideways, then a V1 or a V2. But I would not have taken this because, for one, see how it's right up against the 1 ATR channel? On these V1s, V2s, these return to value V1s, V2s, 3/4 from here to here. So about here would be my max. Down here's fine, here's up to here. But this is too high in the channel and there's no sideways movement. Lolly says, Happy New Year's, everyone. I hope your night is happy and safe. Thank you, Greg, for all you do. You are truly Greg the Great. Thanks, Lolly. I appreciate it. That's nice of you to say. Thank you so much. And did you get your SPY trade today, by the way? Did you get your new SPY trade? But thanks for the kind words, Lolly. I hope you have a nice night as well. Mansolo says, loved our session to Greg and look forward to the next one. Those that haven't signed up with Greg, I highly recommend it. Well, thank you, Mansolo. I appreciate that. So Mansolo had his first lesson and it did very, very well, like everyone. Recently we've had Anthony and Jesse and Addie and Jackson and Kurt and a Mansolo just in the last couple months. So been some really great students and it's been nice to get to know them better. And they all did great. There's not one that did not do excellent. So thank you guys. Thank you for your business. I appreciate it. And it's nice to get to know you as well, right? Bing He says, my ATR channel shows BP coming from below ATR channel and is a higher low V1. My ATR channel shows BP coming from below ATR channel and is a higher low V1. Well, we were here, if this is what you're talking about, we were below the channel, but then see, we closed above the channel. See, if you're under the channel, go into the channel, or if you're under the value zone, go into the value zone, then you need a couple days down and then the V1, V2. But this changes, Bing He, because now we closed above the 1 ATR channel. Whenever you close above the 1 ATR channel, then it switches. Then you need the back in the value zone, sideways, and then the V1, V2. So I'll go over this one more time. If you're under the 1 ATR channel, then I'm looking for a rally into the value zone, couple days down, and then a higher low V1. But if you go into the value zone and then close above the value zone, then it switches from a higher low V1 or a V2 to a pullback into value, and you need the sideways movement. Does that make sense, Bing He? Roy says, thanks for SPY trade info. Started in August 21st, and I'm up 23% for the year on that trade. Oh, man, that's great to hear, Roy. Very, very good. That's fantastic. Holy smokes. So you started in August. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes more sense. It's been a great year, but I got whooped up on pretty good in May of this year. So that's why I'm at about 15%. Really great, Roy. Frank says, Greg, are you bullish for 2020? Well, it doesn't matter what I say, because I'll tell you what. I have opinions about the market, but what do my opinions mean? They don't mean anything, right? I mean, I'll tell you this. When I have opinions, I don't make money in the market. When I don't have opinions and just follow my trades and the price action of what I'm supposed to do, then I make money. I never worry about making money if I have good setups and I follow my trades. But if I have to make an opinion or a guess on the market, I'm usually right. I'm usually just early. So, am I bullish on 2020? I don't know. I mean, probably not, to be honest with you, but it doesn't mean I'm right. I mean, yeah, I'm probably more bearish than bullish, but I'm not going to let it dictate my trading. You know what I mean? Man Solo says, hey, Greg, what do you think of X-Ray today? Too late to trade, though? Let's see. So Bing He, if you're still listening, see how we now closed above the 1 ATR channel? If you close above the 1 ATR channel, then you need to come back into the value zone. We made this lower high here, but we did wash it out here, so that is good. Yeah, I mean, let's see. The average true range is 97 cents. How big, how large is this bar? 96 cents. So this bar really isn't larger than 1 ATR. So actually this is valid. And what I like about this as well, Amon Solo, is that we rejected the 50-day moving average as well. And we washed out this previous low. So all in all, I do like that. Although, did we get to the 50 RSI yet today? No, we didn't quite get there. If we would have already touched that 50 and closed under, I wouldn't want to get in. But this looks pretty good, actually. Yeah. If it hadn't touched the 50 RSI, I still would take it. And, you know, the halfway of this bar dovetails pretty nicely with this 50-day moving average. So, you know, you've got 50% Fibonacci support here. You've also got that 50-day moving average. So I think, you know, you have two good support levels underneath you. You had a rejection of the previous day's low. If, you know, if you were to have taken it and it rejected the 50 and closed under, I would go ahead and get out. But yeah, I wouldn't have a problem taking that trade. Frank says, right answer, teacher. Yeah. Whenever I have opinions on the market, like I said, I'm usually right. I'm just way early, which means I'm wrong, right? So if I stick to my trades, trade price action, I always feel confident in the long run I'm going to make money. But if I come up with some idea in my head about something and put the trade on, not so good. So it's better. You can have opinions for fun, but like Frank says, you know, when it comes to trading, my own opinion is none of my business. Right, Frank? Bing He says, my chart shows BP did not go above 1 ATR channel. Maybe I am using 20 EMA instead of SMA. Yeah, that's probably what it is, because I am using SMA, Bing He. Oh, JT says, your thoughts on Tilray? I don't even know if I want to look at this chart. Holy smokes. Man, look at this stock. Oh my gosh. Oh, this was a $300 stock a year ago. And now it's a $17 stock. Tilray's the marijuana stock, right? Look at this, guys. Oh my goodness. Well, let's take a deep dive on this and see. So that's the weekly. I mean, not bad on the weekly. We did have this V1 here. And did we go under 30? On the week? Really close. So I do like what the weekly looks like, but let's look at the daily. Oh goodness. Holy smokes. Up 8% today, like love. Well, obviously that's one heck of a V2, isn't it? Day 1, day 2, day 3. Did reject the, let's see how high it got today at the high. 46. A lot of volume came in today. That's all positive. I mean, would I buy this here? Probably not. But what I would be looking for, we had a close under the -1 ATR channel. I would look for this to come back in. Remember, the people that bought it here, JT, they're looking quickly to get out of this if there's any type of weakness in the stock, right? People that were fortunate enough to buy here, they'll probably stick with it as long as it keeps moving up. But if it rejects the 50 or if it rejects or goes below the previous day's low, people that bought here will sell, and that will cause it to come back down. But then if you can get a new group of buyers to come in, give it a V1 or a higher low V1 or V2, then the people that bought here sold here or in the weakness, and that would allow it an easier way up. So, I mean, this looks good. It looks positive. I don't think I would buy here. I would wait for it to go higher into the value zone and then a couple days down, or a couple days down here, boom, boom, and then a V1 or a V2, higher low V1 or V2 that closes in the value zone. Does that help, JT? Do you have any Tilray? All right, so if you have any more questions, let me know. I'm just going to say goodbye to everybody. Frank, thank you for coming, sir. Frank, thank you for coming. Hope you have a good New Year. JT, thank you for coming. Hope you have a good New Year. Bing He, thanks, my friend. Appreciate it. I wish you all the best for New Year as well. Man Solo, Happy New Year. Hope you have a great 2020, and I will talk to you on Tuesday evening. Roy B, Happy New Year. Great to hear about your SPY trade. That's great to hear. Lolly, thank you for coming by. I hope you have a great New Year, and I will talk to you soon, I'm sure. Jesse, have a great New Year. Wish you all the best for 2020. Thanks for everything you do out there. Be careful with your job. Evan, good to see you. Have a good New Year. Appreciate that. Andrea, hope you have a good night tonight when you go to bed early. And if you watch Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, let me know. We can trade notes. But thanks for coming and Happy New Year's. David at Vic's Crush, thanks for coming, bud. Hope you have a good New Year's as well, and thanks for your channel. Pat O'Connell, nice to see you, and wish you the best in the new year as well. Joshua Kaufman, thank you for coming this whole year. It's been great to have you here. Let's take Anthony, my friend. Good to see you, buddy, and wish you all the best for the new year as well. And Gamer Squad, which is David. I don't know if you're still in Colombia, but if you are, have a great new year down there. And thanks for supporting the channel this whole year. And thanks to you, Kurt. Good seeing you, my friend. Wish you all the best. And wish you all the best for your trades in 2020. And thanks for supporting the channel. Dr. Jorgensen, Happy New Year, my friend. Thank you for supporting the channel. Let's see. And Steve Burns, of course. Thank you, Steve. Be interesting to see how the UPro works out for you. So that'll be fun to follow, and glad that you're going to be doing that. And thank you for supporting the channel this whole year, and everything that you do, at newtraderu.com and on your Twitter at sjosephburns on Twitter. So thank you, Steve. Say hello to Holly. Say hello to the dogs for me. And thanks for coming to the channel every day. Really appreciate that, and appreciate your friendship as well. Marco, have a good night in Slovenia, and thank you for coming by and supporting the channel, my friend. If there's anything I can do, you please let me know, okay? And Christopher Hitchin, have a good evening there. Getting close to midnight, or getting closer to midnight. So appreciate you coming, Christopher. And if there's anything I can do, let me know. And Happy New Year. John, hope that helped on PRA, and Happy New Year to you too. Wish you all the best for the new year. Wade Foster, thank you so much. Appreciate you coming. And I think that is it. So, all right. So next trading day, when is the next trading day? I guess it's going to be Thursday. Is that right? Yeah, it's going to be Thursday. So I see you on Thursday. It's only one day away. So, all right, everybody, take care. Thanks for coming. Thanks for supporting the channel. Really, really appreciate y'all being here. And have a good night tonight. Have a lot of fun and be careful. All right? All right. Oh, and do something nice for somebody today too, right? Remember, just a little smile or a wave or just be pleasant. It could make a big difference in somebody's day. And if you haven't hit the thumbs up button on the way out, I appreciate you if you could do that as well. So, all right, take care, everybody. Have a good night tonight. Bye-bye. U.S. government required disclaimer. Stock, options, futures, and forex trading is not appropriate for everyone. While there is a potential for large rewards, there is also a substantial risk of loss associated with trading. The material in this video or live broadcast is not geared towards any particular individual or to any particular financial situation and is not intended to meet the particular investment objectives of any viewer. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Any and all information contained in, implied, or referenced by this video or live broadcast is not to be construed as investment advice, and no representation is made that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast is an investment or financial advisor or is registered or authorized to give any financial advice. We are publishers and educators only. Therefore, the various producers of this video or live broadcast will not accept liability for any loss or damage of any kind which may arise either directly or indirectly out of the use of any of this material, including any loss of profit. No representation is made that any account or investment will or is likely to achieve the profit or losses demonstrated. We recommend consultation with a licensed and qualified professional before making any investment decision. This video or live broadcast is not to be construed as an offer to buy or sell any security, financial instrument, or financial product of any kind. Notice is hereby given that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast or their clients may have an interest in any security, financial instrument, or financial product mentioned or referenced. Any simulated or hypothetical performance result depicted does not represent actual trading and therefore may under or overcompensate for the impact of various market factors such as lack of liquidity. Thank you.